So, episode 1. Are we calling this season 3 or are we just saying episode 1?
A new chapter of Fancy Bread.
Episode 1 of a new chapter. Is it an episode 1?
Yeah.
Episode 1.
Episode 1. It's been a while.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I don't want to get too emotionally attached to this set, though.
No. It's going to change soon. Real soon.
This is sexy.
I mean, that's a plan.
This is sexy, though.
Yeah.
This is real sexy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's a moment because for a while we were in the dark, right? Nobody had seen us for a while. Everybody was like, when are you guys coming back? Is the show done? What's going on? And, so it's like in the dark, right?
Right.
It's nice.
That's a little dramatic, but I think it is really cool that people have constantly asked us, oh, what's up with the show?
Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
And to all of you, thank you.
It's a good feeling.
And thank you for joining us. Today is sort of a catching up, but also a sneak peek of what's to come, right? So, sir, you want to take us away?
Yeah. I just actually want to start. I want to start this season hopeful. I wanted to say that I'm aware, as all of us are, that 2024 was difficult for a lot of different reasons. And I just want to let everybody know that we're here, right? We're here for each other. We're here for you all. And Miami's not an easy place to live in right now. You never know what your rent's going to look like the next year. You never know what crazy, scary, or exciting thing our new president is going to do. We don't have any more pennies, by the way. Pennies are gone.
Yeah, they're
obsolete.
A collector's item now.
Which is really cool, honestly. But you don't know, like that little chat he had with the president of Ukraine was not that nice.
Oh wait, we're getting political now, Fancy Bread?
No.
All right, cool.
But I am stating it as a fact, not as an opinion. It's a fact.
Got it.
Right? How I feel about it is irrelevant, but it is a fact. And speaking specifically for food, it's a little tough right now because in Miami there's a new restaurant opening up every fucking 2 months, and things are more expensive. So not only is it harder to know where you want to eat, but even when you decide where you want to eat, it's harder to eat there because things are much more expensive. It's not like people are making more money. Things just cost a lot more. So I just wanted to let everybody know that through all that, we're here. We're going to be here. And we live in the front lines. It's not like we're talking from the back in some command center as generals. No, we work in the industry. We live in Miami. So if anybody's going through that, we are too, and we're going to eat at these restaurants as much as we can and let everybody know how we feel about them and give them insight. And really the only thing we can promise this year is when you guys tune in, it's going to be real and it's going to be good vibes and it's going to be fun as shit.
Yeah. And we're going to give it everything we got.
And so for the people who have stuck with us during our time of inactivity, we are immensely grateful. Really, we are. It means a lot to us. And for the people who are going to join us newly on this journey that we want everybody to come with us on, welcome. And like I said, we're here.
Yeah, and we also like to invite you in many different ways by liking, sharing, subscribing, and also letting us know in the comments what kind of topics you like us to talk about. Today, we're going to have a couple of questions that we're going to answer that give you some insight as to our personal lives, restaurant-wise, and also food-wise, the thing that we value the most.
Yep.
These questions are inspired by Mel Robbins, who, thank you, your show is an inspiration to me, and I appreciate that. And hopefully, we get to collaborate one day. Invitation. Get it? So, without further ado,
that's it for me, man.
Welcome to Fancy Bread. I'm Adrian.
I'm Ed.
And let's just jump right in. We have 7 categories of questions, 3 different answers. Again, we're going to try to answer one in a personal level, one in food-wise, and one for restaurant-wise.
Where did you say these questions came from?
They came from a podcast that Mel Robbins did for how you should...
Mel Robbins.
Yeah. So how do you look at your new year, look at your pictures. So while we're doing this,
Right.
Do it yourselves. Feel free to come back, check out. I'm going to do timestamps on everything so that you can answer your questions and share that with us too. Right. Let's start some conversations, shall we?
Well, I'd like to start off by saying that Mel Robbins, I don't like this guy.
It's a lady.
I don't like this lady either. Whatever Mel Robbins identifies as, I don't like this person because these questions were a pain in my ass. Check this shit out. It's only 7 questions, right? That came up that this lovely individual threw my way. I didn't know what the hell to say about any of these things, which is like a good statement. It's a good way to start off this new chapter in Fancy Bread because it's reaffirming the fact that Adrian and I are very different from one another. Okay. I wrote this down a long time ago, right? Adrian will walk into a restaurant and he'll see the lights and he'll go to the bathroom, which is a big thing for Adrian.
Big thing.
Go to the bathroom to check it out and he'll extrapolate things from like how that feels and he'll be like this, and that. Bro, like when I go to a restaurant, my brain is like 2 things. Like there's only 2 little lights that are on in my brain in a restaurant. It's like, how does this food taste? And is our server a complete idiot? Like you don't have to serve us well, but just don't be an idiot. And does the food taste good? But mostly, if the food tastes really good, then I don't care about anything else.
Perfect. So since there's one word that describes me, and that is extra.
Jesus Christ.
If my dear friend here perhaps doesn't have an answer, if you like, I can always throw one for you.
That's fine. And we'll chat about it.
And we'll chat about it. We'll see. Or you can just, say you go first and then we'll bounce back from there. Okay.
So here's question 1. Can I say question 1?
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
So question 1 was, what were your highlights in 2024?
Or since we last recorded. It's been over a year.
Right. So I
just one
disclaimer. I couldn't answer all these questions because again, these questions pertain to parts of your brain that I just don't really activate very often. But I digress. So what's your answer to this question?
To me was Iceland.
That's your highlight
That's
for 2024.
my highlight. Yeah. This was a trip that I had forever. And I shared it with you and a lot of people as to this is something I always want to do. And, now I see dreams as goals, especially because of this. And I also see that the importance of people to support you in this journey, especially like this show, having you listen to the show, the people that, asked us, and also to you, my brother, because you help plant a seed to like, you always say you wanted to go. So here's a little something to, get that going. So thank you, man.
It's my pleasure.
And also I want to say to my brother Hadid, who went there with me, I love you, brother. Thank you for joining me in that adventure.
Okay. Well, you know what I'm is funny about that answer is my answer was kind of along the same way, kind of like not one experience, but it has nothing to do with food, which is amazing to me. So my best part of 2024, not to get goofy, is basically realizing, accepting, and loving the fact that I'm aging, right? So I turned 40 this year, right? I'm currently right now 39 and I turned 40. And I am living mentally, emotionally, the prime example of like, it's all downhill, like cruising. Like, man, when you're a kid, right? And you think about aging, people have different feelings about it. Oh, I'm afraid to age, or that might be cool. I'm not sure. I really never thought about it. Thinking back, I never really thought about it much. But man, dude, I am enjoying aging so much.
Yes, that's why they say that you start a new life when you turn 40.
I'm enjoying aging so much, my people. Like,
not yet there, and I don't want to get there yet. So hold on.
Yeah, Adrian's
you go ahead.
Adrian's 2 years behind. His birthday's coming up, by the way.
Yeah.
But man, like, and that acceptance and love of becoming more mature, and because it's an everyday thing. Maturing is an everyday thing. I know 20-year-olds who are more mature than 30-year-olds. So age isn't necessarily an indication of maturity, but trying to mature and trying to improve. And it's like one of my favorite lines from Fight Club is like the ability to like really not give a shit about things that don't matter. Like if it doesn't matter, just really letting it go. And I've taken that philosophy for my eating life, for, everything else, personal, professional, just really only like exerting energy where it has to be exerted, being very efficient with it. God, it's fun, man. It's so good.
Thank you for sharing that. I respect that.
Yeah, man, it is a lot of fun.
My mother said to me recently when we started the year, she said that if you want to be wise, right? It doesn't come with age; it comes with experiences,
right?
Right. So the more that you live, the more that you learn,
right?
So now let's start talking about experiences. What was a food experience that you remember very fondly since?
A food experience that I remember very fondly since. I would have to say maybe going to Alinea was a big deal. Very big deal.
Yeah.
It was spontaneous. That was a very big deal. Very, very good. I'm slightly allergic to caviar, which isn't really a big hindrance, but the first course at my Alinea dinner was a caviar course. And I said, fuck it.
I mean, what are you going to say? No?
Fuck it. Oh, no, it's okay. I'll eat something different when I come here again. Like, no, a 3-star dining experience can be once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
And, their menus constantly change. But if you go to a 3-star restaurant and you really enjoyed it, I don't really think you have to go back. You can if you want to, good for you. But so I said, fuck it.
Yeah, they're designed to be memorable experiences.
First course, caviar. I didn't even blink. I was like, let's do it. But that's the thing, right? I live very much in the moment. That's why this particular these questions are hard for me, because I live in the moment. I say to myself, oh, where am I going to eat today? That's where I'm going. Okay, this was really, really good. Did I really enjoy this? Okay, I'll come back. Yeah. And I don't really think about it anymore. I say, okay, the only the long-standing thing for me is saying I'm not coming back here or I'm coming back here.
Nice.
But in terms of everything else, no. I'm happy to state that this last year for me has been very sort of chill. Because I think that a lot of people's 2024 was a little rocky.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for people who suffered, but luckily mine was very chill.
Nice.
Just a lot of food, saving up some bread.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a similar-ish in terms of, Michelin stars. To me was 11 in Madison. God, I always wanted to go to this place so bad, and I went to, and it was...
You went to EMP?
It was incredible. It was everything I wanted it to be and more.
When'd you go to EMP?
By myself, when I came back from Iceland. Remember? I did that layer...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I came from Iceland, stopped in New York. Did that.
That's right.
And then I came back. It was
that's crazy.
Incredible. So, another thing that we'll be doing, so you let us know if you want to hear more about my Iceland trip. I have tons of pictures and videos. If you want me to do a little review, let me know. I would gladly sit here and talk to you about that. Let us know.
How long out did you make that reservation?
I made it in my trip of Iceland. While I was there.
While you were in Iceland?
I was debating there, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I don't care. I'm gonna do it. I've always wanted this. I'm gonna make it happen. So from one dream, I went to another one, and I make them both happen.
Was it worth it?
It was absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
There was this one dish, and this is something that I'm going to talk in a particular question after, that I had the moment that you explained last year, where you had that ratatouille moment.
Oh, yeah.
Where you eat something and it just takes you back. And there was this one dish, and I even recorded it with my glasses, where I was saying, this reminds me of a dish from my grandmother. Yeah. And it just touched home.
Yeah, man.
It was beautiful. So 11 in Madison, thank you for a wonderful dining experience. Moving on. Speaking of wonderful dining experiences, what's a restaurant that you went to for the first time, or that opened since we last recorded, that you're very excited to share with people?
So there is a new restaurant in Miami called Mimi Chinese, which is just fucking gangster, bro. Just gangster. You walk into this place and you're transported to somewhere not Miami, which is always a good thing. Their service style is not Miami. It's not like laid back. It's sharp and on point. And with enough Miami dining experience, you say to yourself, yeah, this isn't a Miami restaurant. It's apparent immediately. You walk in there, the way they're super soigné and chill, but really formal at the same time. It's a really delicate balance to do that. You know, like when you go somewhere, like at Michelin star, at a 3-star restaurant.
Sorry, real quick. By the way, soigné means graceful, right?
Yeah,
Elegant.
whatever. Or Google it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Or Google this shit.
Right.
So it's like, it's a tough thing, right? Because think of it this way. Okay.
Yeah.
I had this feeling the other day. I went to this Italian restaurant for some drinks. And the bartenders, all of the people who are front of house, major staff, like bartenders, servers, they wear suits. But the way these bartenders were behaving was very lax, very informal.
Okay.
Very, like, they were just, they had no sense of urgency. And that, if you think about it, it's like a big mind fuck. It's like you're dressed the part, but you don't act the part. Like if you're going to act that way, you might as well be wearing a t-shirt and an apron and, you know, call everybody guys and say, what's up? But they were dressed in suits.
It's like, guys.
They were dressed in suits and they had that vibe. So that made it even less like, that made it really bad, really, really bad. But when you go to Mimi Chinese, it's like they have the suits, but they're all like, they all have that perfect touch of casual, but you can, it sits on top of a foundation of like tight formal service, which I love. I love that. That honestly, if you've never been to a 3-star restaurant, that's almost the vibe sometimes. Like when I was at Alinea, that was the vibe. Like the captain's out there, he's got a full suit, he's explaining the food to the whole gallery, and you ask him a question, he's just like, yeah, man, that's the way it goes. Yeah, like very chill. But it's on a foundation of like, this person knows what's going on, they know how to move, they know how to talk. So that's what Mimi Chinese is. The food is absolutely amazing. The service is wonderful. The restaurant is tiny, intimate, kind of sexy. But again, I really don't give a shit, if I'm being honest. The food was amazing.
And that's all that matters in the end, because that's what we love.
Yeah.
Mine is Kojin 2.0. I don't know if you have followed us, but we once on the last season, we had Chef Pedro Medeiros, who, along his wife, Catherine Medeiros, finally reopened the restaurant called Kojin 2.0. And the old Leon and the Rambler, I believe, was the place I used to be there.
Rambler, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
it was also Eating House before that.
Absolutely. So now you have a kind of an idea, and I encourage you to go and check it out. This is the kind of experience that I love to go to dine there and just sit down, not know what the menu is, and just say, I'm here, feed me, I'm good. If you have an allergy, let them know ahead of time. But otherwise, just sit and be fed. And every single time it's just a wonderful experience. He changes the menu every season. So about 4 menus a year. And I try to go at least once every season just to enjoy that. And it's like going to a friend's house and just sitting down and enjoying a wonderful meal. So, by the way, this is the guy that made me cry when I ate at his restaurant for the first time. Yeah. So I encourage you to go and check it out and tell me yourself if it's good or not. But at least check it out.
Yeah, Kojin 2.0 is a fantastic restaurant. Just think of a chef that is extremely talented, but it just also happens to be a really cool guy.
Yeah.
That's who's cooking for you. Someone who's a fucking Jedi in the kitchen, but like a chill ass dude outside of it. And he'll come out and he'll talk to you and he'll flirt with you and it'll be amazing.
Yeah. I love it because sometimes I
is-
don't know what he's bringing to the table, and sometimes he comes out himself and brings it, and I'm looking at the dish, and he's like, "This is," and all I hear is the blah 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 blah, and I'm just like, I'm in. I'm looking at it. I just want to dig in, and then after I just go to him and say A, B, and C, blew my mind. Thank you. So
You could do the tasting menu or you can order a la carte.
yeah. But
Honestly,
I would say
either is
tasting menu is the way to go. He has 2 different sizes, one
Either is
smaller
fine.
one larger. So even the small
Either is
tasting
fine.
menu, it's what I would recommend anyone going for the first time. So just allow yourself to be taken on
Remember
an
that
experience.
fucking that mango dessert? What's it called? The sunshine or some
Dude,
shit?
he does these foie gras stuffed donuts.
Yeah, with the chocolate. Yeah.
Oh my
They gave
God.
us a preview.
No, yeah. Everything that's dessert is his
When's the
wife,
last time you
Catherine
heard
Medeiros.
a
She is
foie
phenomenal.
gras stuffed donut.
I know, right? So, and again, he changes it all the time. So
Fuck me,
I
man.
plan on going there for my birthday. So, because he also makes it special. So, here we'll see. Now we spoke about highlights. Let's talk about some lowlights, right?
Lowlights.
And what was a personal
hold on.
lowlight?
What was that? What did we call the way you say things? Remember? You have a way. Let's get this show on the road.
Yeah, let's get this show going. Yeah,
around.
I mean,
what is it? What are they called?
Latin editions.
No, was it Latin editions?
Latin editions.
So for anyone unfamiliar with what Latin editions are, Adrian is a very soulful Latin man. And he doesn't let things like grammar get in the way of him expressing himself.
Nope. But I'm always willing to learn.
Always willing to learn. And what's the new saying now? It's like a meme. We're here to listen, not to criticize or something like that. Anyways, whatever. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Latin editions, we're going to talk about lowlights now. Go ahead, papi.
So, as you mentioned,
the ups of 2024.
2024 was a tough year.
It was a tough year. Yeah.
And
it really was.
It was one where I believe we both experienced some losses.
Yeah.
And
certainly did. Like a lot of other people.
And something that it's important to realize how much one has grown. And to me, going through this experience really helps me be more understanding to others.
Right.
I remember when we would always say that during COVID, we had the time of our lives because we had a great fucking time.
It was fun.
But, some people didn't. And it's hard. It was hard for me to see other people's, hardships because through my lens, everything was great. Right.
Yeah.
And going through the losses that we both did, it definitely makes me a little bit more in touch with those who have gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on, because we're all going through it, and you'll be missed.
Right. So I think it's important to understand that rather than the details of the lowlights of 2024, I think it's better to just feel a sense of solidarity with everybody, anyone who has suffered, different degrees of things that happened this year that you didn't like or made you feel bad or were real, moments of turmoil and hardship. Realize that from the smallest things to the big things, you're never alone.
Yeah.
Right. And this isn't a psychology, emotional show, but I think it's important just to say that no one is better than anyone here. No one is worse than anyone here. We've all been through goods. We've all been through bads. But like I said, when you come here, it's all about welcome everybody. There's going to be some rants.
Yeah.
But it's never fuck you. It's just fuck that, which is different. It's different. It's like somebody saying, oh, you're being an asshole. That's possible. Yeah. But it's one thing between saying you're being an asshole and you are an asshole. Because if you are an asshole, that's an issue.
Yeah.
But if you're being an asshole, it's temporary. Just like your suffering, just like your hardships, all this stuff is temporary. We've all been through it. We're all perhaps going through it and I had to put on a strong face or a nice poker face. But, it makes me feel good knowing that I'm not the only one going through something. So I know that someone else is going to find some solace and understanding that we're all going through it together or we've been through something. So,
yeah. On the bright side, though, it taught me something very important is that only through that pain we can truly appreciate love. Only through experiencing a loss you can truly appreciate the people that you have, and it's tough. Even my dad said to me in a way, he said, "I understand, son. I also had to lose my grandpa for me to love my family the way I love it now." Mm-hmm. So, there's always a bright side to things. So you're not alone. Moving on. A low light on a food experience. Maybe a bad experience that you had, something that was not worth, or something that you'd like to share, perhaps.
So I think this is another question from these, but there was a restaurant that I really loved called True Lux. And True Lux was like my security blanket.
I know.
It was my security blanket. It's like I knew every time I went to this place, I was going to get served well, and the experience was going to be an 8 out of 10. And it was so consistent, and it's not anymore. And it's an arrow that was in my, quiver that is no longer there. It was, and it was harder than I thought it would be, because you spend a lot of time in these restaurants. If you become a regular, you don't have to go and spend a lot of money. You could just go get a glass of wine and a snack. But yeah, man, that was a big deal. No restaurant has replaced that vibe. The casual but high quality steakhouse, sit at the bar, the bartenders by name, they know you by name. They're always hooking it up because you take care of them. You take, et cetera, et cetera.
As you should.
Great food, consistent, really fucking good. And then just little by little, I don't think anyone was immune to the pinch, the post-COVID pinch. All these restaurants opening up, more competition, less covers every night. Something's got to give, right? Eventually you say, we can't spend this much money on this meat. We got to do something else.
Yeah.
So I understand it. But as a huge supporter of that restaurant, the one in Brickell, man, it really made me sad when I was like, this shit sucks.
It's like a heartbreak.
When I had to say to myself, yo, this restaurant sucks. It's like, fuck, bro, this hurts, man. But you move on.
Well, to me, it wasn't necessarily about the place itself. It was the experience overall that made me say, oh, wow. I did my numbers for last year to do my taxes, right? And I realized I may have overspent a lot in food. I love food, which is fine. But I do have other things that I want to do, little plans that in the future you will see, very close by, let's hope. And I went to this experience, and it was Chateau Zizi's. Phenomenal place. Beautiful. Looks like a castle, a fairy tale. Service was impeccable. Yeah. Everything was great. Food was incredible. But when the bill came, I said, damn. And at that point, I said, I can continue enjoying things like this, but it's going to get in the way of me doing other things. So it was that point for me to say,
bill,
it was,
how much was the bill?
It was more than $500, for 2 guests, not a lot of drinking because, I don't drink. So,
right.
It was, again,
did you split the bill?
Totally worth it.
Did you split the bill?
It was my lady's birthday.
Okay.
It was my lady's birthday, and she was very happy. I'm glad that we got to do that for a special occasion.
Okay.
But it made me say, like, this is not in the budget, and it's okay for you to say, listen, certain things are not in the budget. I sat down with my lady and I said to her, we want to, there's certain restaurants we want to go to. We can still do, but maybe we'll go for like 1, 2, 3 dishes, and go early and, just do our thing.
You got to pump the brakes.
You got to pump the brakes a little bit, right? Because we got other things that you want to do. It's important that we all find ways to cut back. And even if it's something that you love, like food, which is something that I really love, is food.
I think the both of us do.
Yeah. And speaking of, it's a loss, right, of a restaurant that is no longer here.
That was the same answer for me.
That was the answer for you?
Same one.
Mine was Branja. And for those who don't know,
Granja or Granja?
Branja, Branja.
Is it Branja or Branja?
Yeah, I call it Branja. Branja. Slips off the tongue better.
What kind of food? I've never been.
It was more like a
Spanish.
No. Like Middle Eastern, this guy won like top chef in his country, and he just made this, like Mediterranean, and just it was very unique. Their steak tartare, their tuna tartare. But the dish that I love the most, tahini pie. It was one of my top 5 desserts.
Pie.
It was incredible. And it's unfortunate that the restaurant didn't make it. I celebrated my birthday last year. Show some pictures and stuff if you want to check that out.
I love sesame.
And that chef, it was just me and my lady in this counter, and he was cooking for us. It was an amazing experience. Like, we had no idea what was coming. We just sat there, and he just made it all for us, and it was absolutely wonderful. And I kept going back to the restaurant for the little things that I loved, like that eggplant dish. Whatever you do, chef, let us know because I want to go. So, and I would love to invite them to perhaps even talk and say, what happened? Because that's something that we would like to give an opportunity to restaurants that unfortunately, passed or closed, to maybe come here and say, this is the things that we learned and this is what we plan on doing in the future. So let's hope to get that in there. So an invitation to both chefs of Branja. We'd love to have you. Now, moving to learned.
You got me thinking about that now.
Yeah.
Now I got to think about another restaurant. Go ahead, I'm listening.
That's okay. Then we now talk about things that we learned. Is there something that you learned about yourself since we last shot? I got one for you if you don't have it.
Hit me with it.
Miami Spice.
Oh. Yeah. Talk about irony, right? I think for years we've made fun of Miami Spice, and I'll still make fun of Miami Spice.
Of course.
But this year, Miami Spice kind of saved us a little bit, didn't it? Right?
Yep. So
kind of saved us a little bit.
So it's important to, for people to hear that, sometimes, at times, we feel a certain way and, it's a journey
and things might change.
And actually, we look forward to it this year.
I'm not looking forward to it.
I mean,
but
not necessarily, but certain parts of it, yes.
The guests were still a pain in the ass.
Yes, they were.
People who pay less always want more. I've said this forever, and I'll still repeat it, even though in the same sentence, I'm saying Miami Spice made 2 months of the summer more profitable than it would have been without Miami Spice, considerably so. I'll still say fuck Miami Spice, right? All right, I'll work it. I don't have a choice right now. The guests are still relatively terrible, but it did save our ass though.
It did. You know what I learned about myself the last 24 months?
Can I get a hint? Can you give me a hint? Would I know this? Do I know this already?
Maybe not. It's
Give me
more.
a hint.
It's more visual.
Give me a hint.
Just it's visual. You're seeing it right now.
What is it? The hair? Is that what it is?
I learned that an unkept caveman beard, it's not for me. I'll put a picture of it somewhere there so you see that. This year I tried different looks. It was a search for who I wanted to be in the show, and ended up being what I want to be, who I am. And that I was always like trying to find a different look. So I tried, letting my beard grow and letting my hair grow, and it's still a journey. So you get to see a lot of different hairstyles coming soon, because I got to show Hollywood some range, baby.
Right. So for those who don't know, for the longest time, Adrian had the pompadour, like the Johnny Bravo.
Yep.
Straight up like this. And that was his thing for years.
Forever.
That was his thing. I remember you cut it short one time. You got a buzz cut.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Now you're into the Desperado Antonio Banderas vibe.
Yeah, this is my John Wick. This is my John Wick.
Juan Wick.
My Juan Wick.
Yeah. I like it, man. You look good, brother.
Yeah. You're breathtaking, by the way.
Looks good.
Perfect. So that was that.
What else?
Now, what's something that you learned about food this year?
Something I learned about food this year. I didn't learn anything new. I just got reaffirmed that it is still the most important thing to me.
That's good.
And this is going to come up again and again. Maybe that's why, because my food life is passionate but very simple. I care about food over everything. So nothing has changed there.
That's okay. I'm gonna throw mine.
Go ahead.
Water. When I went to Iceland, it really cemented the fact that water makes all the difference in anything you do. Not only in your drinks, in what you cook. Bread tasted so much differently just because of that one element.
Yeah.
Water. And I learned also how, many chefs, for example, when they buy a chicken and they cut it into pieces and they take the parts that they want for that dish, the rest they make a broth and they use that broth to even flavor the same dish. Like, the water that you use on these dishes makes all the difference in the world.
That's the whole bagel argument.
Mm-hmm. That's why people say that the New York is fantastic because, I love the water in New York. That's why the pizza in New York is so awesome.
Listen, man, I'll say this right now. I have never had a bagel in Miami that has been better than a 6, 7 maximum. Sucks. I don't. If the water thing is a real thing, I don't get it. And the funny thing is that people in Miami will be like, as soon as you say anything bad about Miami bagels, Miami people will be like, oh, here we go. It's a New York thing, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Have you had the bagels in New York? They're fucking phenomenal. They're an institution. So I get it. I mean, it's what you're really saying is it's all about like high quality core ingredients. So you can be a very talented chef, but if you're starting your recipe with shitty vegetables, shitty proteins, at best, even if you're extremely talented, your dish isn't going to go as far as if someone who's equally talented, maybe even a little less talented, starts the same meal with extremely high quality ingredients. One of those ingredients being water, because water goes into
everything,
almost everything.
It's life.
All right. Okay. I guess so.
There you go.
I guess so.
Now, what is something that you learned about restaurants?
Something I learned about restaurants. You know what I learned about restaurants this year? That none of them really matter. Restaurants are fleeting. They're a highly competitive, low profit margin business. I learned through the inside scoop, through some higher ups at different restaurants, that a lot of restaurant owners are not in it for the long run. They're in it for the short run. They want to maximize their profits and then sell and then just cash out and move on with their lives.
It's a business.
It's a business. It's a business. Like, I don't say it because it's like, oh, fuck everybody, nobody matters. No, what my point is that if you find one that you really like, really enjoy it. Really, like, become a patron and support it and go to it as often as you can. Don't worry about repeating. Yeah, it's great to go to new places. It's great to learn new things and find new dishes, and that's great. But if you really find one restaurant you really like, 2 or 3 restaurants you really like, don't be afraid to like repeat, because
it needs it.
They need it, and now more than ever. And you never know when they'll close their doors.
Yeah,
you'll never know.
That's funny because that's where I was going to go. What I learned this year is how hard it is to keep a restaurant open.
Right.
It's so hard. And I want to take this opportunity to extend an invitation to Mr. Felix Bendersky from F+B Hospitality Brokerage. I don't know if you noticed, but this year it's a bit of a dining table. And we have space up to 4 guests. And we would love to extend an invitation for you to sit down here and talk to us about why are restaurants closing? What are some of the struggles that they're finding, right? And I think that you'd be a great fit. Let us know. We'll stay in touch. Also, to all of you as well, maybe you can join. Send us a DM. Send us a little message. Tell us, hey, I work in such and such, and I would love to come to your show and talk about X and Y. Maybe we'll set up a call, and maybe you'll join us here. Also, we can do so via Zoom call as well. So we're growing, and this time, we're not holding back. Okay? So, speaking about holding back.
That was nice.
Hey, welcome.
That was very nice.
Thank you. Speaking about holding back, because now we got to talk about holding back. What are things we're going to stop doing from now on, right? Is there something that you like to stop doing, sir?
Give me yours first. I'll see where I'm at.
Well, I wrote here, not to express who I am,
Not to express who you
not
are.
to be who I am. As I said, I want to come into the show and be myself.
A reverse negative.
Correct.
What you're saying is you're going to be yourself.
I want to be myself. Correct.
So I'm going to stop denying my true self.
Correct.
That was a little confusing. I know.
And that's why you're here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to translate my Latin editions.
That's beautiful.
That's
strong. A lot easier said than done.
Yep.
But, you know, we've said this before too. It's like, if you aim to be a better person and you really attempt it, you might not get there. But just in the attempt of trying to be better, you will become better.
Yeah.
Right? If you are training to run a marathon and you've never run in your life, the marathon is 6 months away, right? It's a big one, right? Once you get to the marathon, you might not even finish the fucking thing. But once you train enough to get to that marathon, you realize, I'm running like 15 miles. I'm running 20 miles in one go. I never thought I could do this. My time is terrible. My mile is awful. But I just jogged over 20 miles.
Yeah.
I never thought I could do this shit. So you might not be a fucking champion sprinter or a champion long distance runner at the end of that, but you went from 0 to being able to do this thing that you never thought you were capable of doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And that comes from experience because somebody here did run a marathon, so...
Who ran a marathon? Me? I didn't run a marathon. But, yeah, I mean, the effort is great. So, I wish you luck, brother. It's not going to be easy.
Next one?
Yeah.
Perfect. What is something that you want to stop eating?
Nothing. Nothing, guys. I know how these questions are going to go, so I'm going to save my answer. It's going to make more sense. But
okay.
Nothing.
To me, is junk food like chips and chocolate, like those processed stuff. It's time to kind of like, for me, if it works for you, it works for you.
Moderation,
I get it,
dude.
But I want to.
We're not.
I mean, listen. If I go to a Mexican restaurant and they're gonna give me chips and salsa, fuck it, yeah.
Moderation.
But
dude.
am I gonna go and buy a bag of Lay's?
No,
not anymore, Lay's.
No.
I'm sorry.
I don't
But
buy. I
this
don't
is
buy
me
junk
breaking
food.
up with you.
I don't buy junk food.
I mean, you never know. But I'm gonna try.
Yeah, nah, fuck that, bro. Eat whatever you want.
Yeah, of course.
If it makes you happy, eat it. As long as you do it in moderation.
It's important to put your best foot forward. You know.
I'm putting my foot down. Eat it. Eat it. You like it, eat it.
Of course.
Life is short.
Hey,
eat it.
I'm sharing something about myself, not about yes.
Well,
right?
I had to get powerful on that.
Now, what about restaurants? Is there a restaurant you're going to stop going to, or a kind of restaurant that you want to stop going to, or avoiding, or maybe
to
taking
me
down?
that question is simple. I don't go to restaurants I don't like. So if I go to a restaurant, I'm going to continue to go to it for as long as I can because I enjoy it. So stopping eating at restaurants, no, not really. I think eating at restaurants is my biggest expense. But I do so, even when I do so, I say to myself, I have like good spending control.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, listen, I can't go to a restaurant and spend $500. Can't do it.
No.
It just cannot happen. Can't do it. So that's fine. I'll get some nice burgers or I'll go to Publix and get shit for a sandwich so no, I'm not going to stop doing that because it makes me happy and I have found a way to balance it and budget it.
Nice.
So no, I'm good. What about you?
Well, to me, it was. Got a little excited there. To me, it was about what I mentioned earlier about trying to stay within a budget. I do know I enjoy those things, and I will try to do skew around it a little bit and work with it. But because I do have another big goal that I really want to achieve, I have to take those down. So obviously, I will try
both
to,
of us
to hold on and go into restaurants.
We're on the same page there.
Yeah, because that's the whole point. It's about
getting to the next level.
Getting into the next level, and sometimes things that you love even need to take a bit of a sit back or step back.
I think that's smart though. I don't think anybody would look at that strategy and be like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Smart.
So that's for that's for this year. We'll see what happens. All right. So how about starting, right? What things you want to start working on, right? Is there something that you want to work on personally this year?
Yeah. I want to diversify my social life. So I don't want to move the priority of food. Food is always number one, but I'd like to tack on a lot more things. I want to delve into maybe finding some hobbies. I need a little more balance, and I'm not afraid to admit that. Right? My social life is all about where am I eating? And I think it always kind of will be. But like today, perfect example. I went to go play paddleball with some coworkers.
Yeah.
It was weird as hell, but it was a lot of fun. And just the fact that it was different and you're out and you're seeing people, it was great. So I'd like to just diversify my social life. Food, always number one, always will be. Nothing can challenge it. Nothing. But I want to make an active decision to say, okay, what's number 2? What's number 3? What's number 4? What's number 5? What's number 6?
Nice.
I want to do this. I want to do this. And just explore and find new things, because the goal, right? Let's just talk fairy tale. The goal is to get to a point financially where we're free.
Yeah.
And we can eat anywhere we want. Go anywhere we want. All right. So you've eaten. What do you do now? Right?
Yeah.
If you don't have things you enjoy, you get bored.
Yeah.
And being
fat.
And fat. So
or juicy.
right. So yeah. So I would like to start adding things to my
Diversity, social life,
priority
hobbies.
chart. Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to me, is I want to work on my posture.
Oh, my posture is terrible.
Yeah. And also etiquette. This person I follow on social media. His name is William Hanson.
Handsome?
Handsome. S-O-N. Hanson. Hanson.
Like a Hanson brother.
Yeah, like Hanson. Yeah. Not handsome. Handsome.
But is he handsome?
I mean, we could think he's a good-looking person. He takes care of himself. He's a chap, English. He's got that accent.
Right. Okay.
So, Mr. Hansen, we would love to have you on the show, perhaps via Zoom call, to talk about etiquette. He has a book on how people should
like dining etiquette.
Dining etiquette, and I would love to have you on our show and talk about that.
That's
because a lot of people in Miami could use some of that that book too. So
that's fun.
Let us know. Let's get this happening, Mr. Hansen.
Do you think you're a polite diner?
Yes.
You think so?
Perhaps even too polite at times. But, that's for me to work on.
Okay. Do you think that you are a polite diner when you're eating family style, sharing food with people?
Not my biggest strength.
Right. Okay.
I try.
Right. So just
maybe Mr. Hansen can help us with that.
So look, Adrian knows this, that I trust Adrian with anything, like with my life. Right? I trust Adrian with everything except food. It used to be just dessert because he's a big dessert head. We both are. But now it's just food in general. Okay, so let me paint a very quick picture for everybody, right? You're eating with 3 people total. You and 2 other people. A dish comes to the table. And this is sometimes what makes it difficult, right? If every dish that came to a table was portioned perfectly for the amount of people there, we wouldn't be having this discussion, right?
Usually not.
A dish comes to a table with 3 dumplings on it. Everybody gets a dumpling. That's not a problem. Adrian's not an issue there. Where Adrian becomes an issue is where a dish comes with an odd amount of things, like 1 or 2 extra compared to how many people are at the table. So instead of coming with 3 dumplings, it comes with 4 dumplings. And my wheels already start turning. I already start looking at Adrian going, what's he going to do? Because Adrian is the most selfless, wholesome, wonderful human being. But if you just looked at Adrian's behavior during family style dining, you would be like, this guy's a piece of shit. Like just a savage. Adrian will always find a way to get that 4th dumpling, or even worse, if it's like a salad, I'll serve someone salad. I'll get myself a little bit of salad. And then you know what Adrian will do? He'll be like, well, they've gotten salad. Okay, so then he'll drag the plate closer to him as if, this is mine now.
I did that yesterday.
Yes, you did. This is mine now. When I served just a little bit so that I can maybe, if I really love the salad, get a little extra, a second serving. No.
Oh, but that's good. Now I know that next time that's how you think.
What the fuck you mean? I've been telling you this for years. You know this. For years.
But we'll talk about communication later.
It's not going to change.
Because there's some things that I've learned about myself that we can talk about that.
It's not going to change.
That's a little personal. We'll talk about
it. It's not going to change, man. All I know is that I have to get my portion and then no guarantee of another portion after that. It's okay.
We'll figure that out.
Right.
Now, what's something that you want to start doing related to food?
Cooking at home more. I cook at home often, but I'd like to become a more proficient home cook. Like I want to be a good home cook. I don't want to go to culinary school. I just want to watch some videos and buy basic equipment and just be able to cook wholesome meals from scratch, like really nice. And the great thing about that is like once you master a meal, it like becomes part of your like food lexicon. Like, okay, what do I have here?
Lexicon?
Yeah, it's okay.
No, I just want to know what that is.
It's an English word. So it's like,
what does it mean?
Google it. It'll be fine, right? It becomes part of your cooking vocabulary.
Oh,
is that better?
Thank you.
No, absolutely. It's my pleasure.
A lexicon.
Right? So it's like, I'd like to become a better home cook. And I said this before. And I have. And after I said it, I did start cooking at home a lot more. But I'd like to cook at home even more often. Not only will it save money, but it's a lot healthier. And, you know, I feel fantastic, but, you know, we're not 20 anymore. You can't just eat whatever you want. Like if I eat late, I wake up the next day, I feel like I got a brick in my stomach. It's terrible.
So I don't know if you're reading my answers here.
I'm not reading your answers.
I'm just getting you sick because mine is to start cooking at home again. And I say start because I think that for the last 2 years or more, I haven't cooked today.
Nah, you got to cook, bro.
And
even if it's basic, doesn't matter.
Going back to living in Madison, that dish over there made me say, you know what I want to do? I want to not only...
What was the dish?
It was like a bean soup.
Nice.
With like chives and fantastic. I'll put a image somewhere there. And that reminded me of my grandma's black bean soup.
Okay.
So something that I want to do is I want to learn from my mother or my grandma how to do our black bean soup that's been passed down from family, you know, through family members, and then find a way for me to make it like my bougie version, right? Yeah. So I want to do the traditional one, but then after I master that, I want to master like my own version of it.
You want to know something crazy?
Yeah.
My favorite meal that I cooked at home in the last year or two was black bean soup.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I made a black bean soup with like all the traditional flavors, and I put like chopped pieces of like ribeye in there, and I made it like hearty, and I put like, you know, all the Mexican shit, right? The cumin, the garlic. I started with the mirepoix, all that nonsense, and I blended half of it to make it thicker, and fuck, that was good. Really, really good. Like really, it came out so good. So it's crazy you say that because black bean soup was one of my favorite things to make. I like soups in general. My next soup I'm going to work on is really getting good at making like a roasted tomato soup.
Ooh.
You know, you put all the vegetables on a sheet pan and you olive oil and you season them and then you roast them in the oven. They come out nice and charred, and then you throw them in a blender and
We'll see. I would also like to find some recipes of restaurants that closed. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to try. All right.
Yeah.
Now, pertaining to restaurants or something that you want to start, or restaurants you want to start going to, or something that you want to do there. I can go with mine if you want.
Sure. Go ahead.
Mine is to start eating local, meaning I want to go to at least every single restaurant that's in my vicinity and go at least once and give it a try. Right. See if it's good, if it's not good.
That's important.
I want to support, you know, the area where I live.
It's important.
Especially now, since I might, you know, you never know. We'll see.
That's important. Unfortunately, the truth is that a lot of local mom and pop restaurants suck. They're just not that good. It's not a judgment. It's just an It's just an observation.
We'll give them a try.
We'll give them a try. But a lot of these local little mom and pop, little abuelita joints, they're not that good. I got nothing else to say about that.
Let's continue. And speaking about continuing, that's our, you know, second to last is what do you want to continue doing this year that you started doing the last year, or something that you have continuously done, but you want to continue doing so?
I would say, to sort of piggyback on what you said, that you want to stop, that you want to be true to yourself. I want to continue to be true to myself. Like, I want people to know me and give the understanding that I'm just always trying to be real. I'm always trying to be honest. And a lot of times that can come off obnoxious, that can come off offensive. And I don't ever want to offend anybody. Like, that's not my priority. But the truth is that, you know, if you live in a world where you have intelligence and you have free speech, you're going to have to be okay with the possibility of people offending you with the things that they say. I think that's like a Jordan Peterson line or something like that. And that's just the truth, honestly.
Which we'd love to have you in the show, Mr. Peterson.
JP?
We'd love to have you in the show, sir.
Big
fans.
So just continuing to just be true to myself, just like you said. I feel a lot of connection with that idea. You know, just I don't see this show becoming any less popular. So as we gain more followers and people understand that we're here because we're being real and we want to connect and entertain and educate and all that shit.
Inspire.
Yeah, the ethos. The more people that see us, the more people might potentially be offended by shit I say or shit you say.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to be okay with that because I'm okay with that. I'm not going to stop, you know, I'm okay with flirting with cancellation if it means that I can be honest and be who I am. And we're going to take that spirit and perpetuate it with everything we do. You know, like if we go out to eat somewhere and we talk about it, which you guys will hear this year, we're going to incorporate our version of food reviews into our show and into the program. Like we're keeping it real, son. Like, you know?
Yeah. In our own way. We'll be honest about what
keeping it real. And a lot of people say that, but like savage real. And savage real could be great. It could be positive, but it could be real nasty. And I'm never going to try to offend. I'm just going to say how I feel. And if I speak poorly about a restaurant you really enjoy, then it's all, you can have it. It's all yours. I don't give a shit. I don't want to go there anyway.
He's not an asshole. He's just being an asshole.
You see what just happened there? See what just happened there?
Latin editions, baby. Now, to me, it's I want to continue not drinking. I stopped drinking a couple of years back, and every now and then I've done the sheer, but it's something that I don't miss, man. I think I did once. Like we opened a bottle of wine and had like 2 glasses, and the next day I was like, ah. So for me, it's something that I'm going to continue not doing, and it really hasn't affected me being able to talk to guests about something, express my love for it because a lot of these I've tasted. So I really don't mind it, and that's something that I'm going to continue doing. It has really improved my health, and I want to keep going on that route. And speaking about continuing, is there something that you started eating or started in your doing, right, that you want to continue doing as well in your food regimen? If not, I got one.
Not really.
Well, to me, it was tea and vitamins. Drinking tea. I want to get more into like how does the tea thing work. I want to learn a little bit more about that, its culture and the properties that help.
That's a good one.
Something that I've enjoyed a lot is sitting outside on my balcony with a nice hot cup of tea. I turn on an incense and I just relax there, and that's a good time for me. And that's something I want to learn a little bit more about. And then also vitamins and supplements. That's something that I understand that we all lack, and it's important that we stay up to date. So I want to look into that. That's something that I hope to learn, and perhaps find someone appropriate to sit on this table and say, what's up with tea? What's up with vitamins? We work in the restaurant industry. We're constantly working at night, not sleeping well. What are some of the things that we could use or drink to, keep us up, right? Because Red Bull ain't helping.
I don't drink.
You know what I mean? That's hey, if you do, it's a cup of tea.
You drink soda?
No,
I don't drink soda.
No. Only thing I drink, sir, is water.
Yeah, I don't drink soda. I haven't had a. And
I can't wait to have a water episode. By the way, I can't wait.
Water is a whole thing in restaurants. It's a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great episode.
You guys have no idea.
I already have the person for that too.
It's a whole thing.
Oh yeah,
non-alcoholic drink inventory in a restaurant is a whole thing,
and it's a business too.
It's a whole thing, man.
Water is money, and life. Is there a restaurant that you found that you want to continue going, but also you would like to recommend people? Hey, come check this out.
Sonny's.
The place that needs no introduction, of course.
Sonny's Steakhouse.
Wow.
One of the most legit restaurants in the city right now. Just people might be like, oh, it was good. Yeah, it wasn't that good. That's fine. Everyone's different. I've never heard one person say it was bad.
Yep.
Nope.
And I've been there when it's packed and that kitchen is just pumping dish after dish and perfectly cooked every single
The worst thing
time.
I've heard anybody say about Sonny's is it was okay.
You know what's the nicest thing I heard someone say about Sonny's? I went to another restaurant that I love, and the chef said to me, I would love to work with just for a week, just work with them. Because to be surrounded with people that are so passionate,
Right.
that do so great work constantly, I would love to be in that. Just put me in salads. I just want to be there.
That's Caesar salad.
Anywhere. Because
No. You can't put a stranger on salads.
I mean, you can put
Not
a
at
stranger
Sonny's.
anywhere. But the point
Not
being
at
is that this
Sonny's.
person expressed that even as a person who owns his own business, and great business, by the way, you know, it was beautiful to hear that. So that's definitely a restaurant. To me, it's a tiny little restaurant that's close to where I live, and it's called Mark's. He just recently opened. It's a pizzeria, artisanal pizzeria. He makes this grandma bread pizza. It's fantastic. What really got me, the appetizers. There's Caesar salad with the anchovies, the grandma bread with the stracciatella on top, Mark's meatballs. That's the name of the dish, so don't take it wrong. Phenomenal. And he recently opened his background. He's from Jersey, and he's a baker. He opened up this place with his wife. And the other day I went to get a pizza. His mom was there too. It's adorable. It's a beautiful little place, very chic. You know, I urge you, check it out, because this is a restaurant that I go at least once a week, and he hasn't really worked on marketing and such. I respect that. He's probably still perfecting everything, make sure that it's perfect. And I would invite you to go check it out, because I would love for this restaurant to stay, especially in my neighborhood. It's a walking distance, man. I love it.
That's the pizza place on the corner next to the scooter place.
Correct.
Okay.
Right across the supermarket. Check it out.
I'm never going to go.
I'm going to leave the description below. You did that last year, and you're still missing out, sir. You're still missing out. Now, speaking about missing out, this is the last one we want to close with this. What are you going to start doing today? That is the final question.
Today, I'm going to eat something with people I care about and bond and tip well and get some rest. Those are my plans for today.
That sounds like a great plan. Mine is to let you know that this year, we're going to give it our best.
I'm going to give it everything we got.
We're going to give it everything we got.
That's right.
And I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time to, call us, talk to us, say, hey, man, what's up with the podcast? I miss you guys. Thank you. Thank you to all of you who like, who share, who subscribe, who comment. I'm going to try to get Edwin here to sit down at least once a month and just answer some stuff on the comment section, just to rile people up. It'll be fun. Maybe once a month. We'll see. Let us know if that's something you want to see. It'll be a lot of fun. But that's what I want to start doing, is giving you this show our absolute best for this whole year. And that's our promise. And lastly, because this is food and restaurants, what are we going to eat today? And where are we going to eat today? Because I tell my mother all the time, that's my biggest concern in life. It's where and what am I going to eat?
Where am I going to eat? I don't know. I think that's a conversation best left private. I don't think you people need to be in tune with any of that. That's none of your business.
But maybe next week we'll let you know where we ate. Maybe. We'll see.
None of your beeswax.
Let us know.
None of your beeswax.
But anyway, I just want to, if there's anything you want to say, I'm going to close this up, sir.
Close it, brother.
My closing today is to you, brother. I want to say thank you. Throughout this whole year, you constantly were always available, asking me, when are we going to do this thing? You got my support. You never falter, brother. And I appreciate that. Also, when the time came, you answered the call. You dare sit here and allow yourself to be listened, to be known, to be seen. And that takes courage. And I'm honored to do this with you by my side, man. Thank you. I know, it's still weird. And to you,
Can't touch them.
thank you for listening.
Take care, everybody.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.